evening, my name is Garrett, and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is Blue Spot Irish Whiskey, coming in at a 58.9% ABV, 7-year age statement. Now, I've spent my time collecting up all the spots that I can get so far, and this is one of the last ones that's been really hard to find for me. Originally, many years ago, Blue Spot was on the shelves and sold, and then they kind of pulled it back, and more recently re-released it as well, which is great to see. So a couple things we do know about this: not only does it have that 7-year age statement, but it is also cask strength, and they use 3 different cask types: bourbon barrels, sherry butts, and Madeira casks. So, as always, we'll be trying this 2 different ways. First way neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add a drop of water, see what changes up. But yeah, make sure you pour yourself a glass, hit that subscribe button, hang around for a bit. We'll be going through some A/B comparisons with this, along with some of the other spots, and we have tons of other reviews going up. So yeah, you'll want to hang around for those, trust me. Gosh, beautiful, beautiful golden color there, a little on the dark side, like raw honey almost. All right, let's go for notes. Ooh, apple, right from the get-go. Beautiful apple, like green apple, almost like the skin of green apples. Like after you've peeled them and you just smell the skins themselves. So you get a little bit of that apple flesh plus the rind itself. Yeah. No real ABV on the nose, which is surprising being its cask strength and have 58%. She's warm. Now I did get to share this with my wife. We went, this was kind of an anniversary gift for us. So it was definitely worthwhile. You get a little bit of an underlying spice in there as well. And a nice solid oak. But very little sweetness, but there is some there. And that a little bit of a dry red wine. And a little bit of a dryness from the Madeira cask. And I've had a couple things done with Madeira. I've been hit and miss on it, I will say that much. But you do get that along with some dark fruit. And I love that light spice in there. All right, let's go for taste. I'm going to acclimate to that because it is warm. Oh, but it's so good. Oh, man. Yeah, it's got some warmth to it, but it is like a big old hug. All right, let's go for actual notes now. You almost get this big bowl of tropical fruit. Coconut, bit of sweetness. Dark fruit, but also a bit of dryness from that, from the Madeira cask, I'm assuming. Big underlying oak as well. That sweetness is showing up. But the bowl of tropical fruits with this like shaved fresh coconut over the top. It's gorgeously... This is like Green Spot turned up to an 11 for me. And I love Green Spot because of how it reminds me a lot of like banana bread with a beautiful like icing over the top. This is like tropical dessert. You don't even expect to get tropical notes in an Irish whiskey, but they come across so well. It's warm, but it's not an offensive ABV, and that's what I do like about it. Is that it actually doesn't, it's not offensive, but it definitely demands your attention on things. I will say the finish isn't super long. It kind of hits you with all the flavors at once, and then it kind of just backs off a bit. Like it comes up and slaps you from the dark, and then it slunks back off into the shadows. The spiciness is there, the oak characters are there from the bourbon casks. You get the fruit notes from the Madeira and the sherry, and the bit of dryness in there as well. It all comes together super, super good with this beautiful ABV on things. So good. All right. See what a little bit of water does. You never know. Normally, under most circumstances, adding water to a Irish whiskey makes things go a little mute. So I'll be curious what happens at a cask strength situation. Go put that back on so I don't accidentally spill anything. Okay, let's go for notes. Wow, okay. That's the first time that hasn't happened in a while. I more recently did Gold Spot and it made it go very transparent. So the fruit notes actually dominated. Wow. The tropical notes are now popping out of the glass. You don't really get much spice, no ABV. Here you're still getting the spice and the oak characteristics. Just a beautiful fruit punch almost. Wow, that's great nose. All right, well, let's go for taste. Actually, it doubles down on the fruit characters as well. Wow. I mean, I'm going to offend some people by saying this, but this is going like into rum territory. It's very sweet, still a little dry, and it's got a little bit of a funkiness from the Madeira cask. I've had that funkiness before, so I know what I'm calling out on that. It's got a bit of funkiness in there. It's like I'm going to put it as like an expired fruit or like a really over-ripened fruit. But the initial burst of flavor coming on is this beautiful tropical, like, again, almost like a fruit punchness going on here. And that's really good. Yeah, a little spice in there. It opens up a lot of characteristics going on here. I said the only thing that I would say that is a negative is that bit of overly ripened fruit here in the finish. But besides that, that's really damn good too. And as always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. This is definitely one I would experiment with. Neat is beautiful on its own. That little bit of water, though, activated some of those beautiful tropical notes, and I love that about it. Yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Maybe, and I wouldn't say quite metallic, but it goes a little youthful in the taste. Here at the finish, and that bit of overly ripened fruit. But honestly, that ain't half bad either. That's fun. All right. Let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. I ended up paying about $110 for this, and honestly, I think that's a great price for it. I wouldn't overpay for it. As far as we know, this isn't a limited edition, and it's not something that is going to be going away, as far as we know. Now, that could always change. At the time of this recording, as far as I could tell, it's not that way. I've already seen secondary markets going $200-$300 plus, which obviously I don't think it's worth that any day of the week. I would pay a little bit more for it, but I wouldn't overpay for it. The flavors it's bringing across are fantastic, but it does remind me a lot of a Green Spot turned up to an 11. Just bringing in those flavors. It slaps an age statement on here to really rock it, and I think it's great. But do I think it's worth $150? I don't think so. And the reason I say $150 is because when I can find Red Spot, it's about $140. Yellow Spot for me is about $100 to $112. And Green Spot's about $60 to $70. So I do think where it lands at its MSRP price of right around $100 or so, I think that's not a bad offering for it. Just don't overpay for this one. Is it worth the hunt? At a reasonable price, yeah, I would definitely. If I walked into another store when this was empty and there was one for $140, I'd buy it. I'd probably pay upwards to $150 right now in today's market in 2022, but I wouldn't overpay for it. I wouldn't pay $200-$300 for it. I don't think it's worth that any day of the week. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Blue Spot Irish Whiskey. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirit I should go looking for, also let me know down below. I love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.